Corbyn, there have been few revelations in the media in the last couple of days about the Corbyn campaign donors. First one called Todd Hundrich, a retired professor at UCL who gave £5,000 and wrote in the newspaper in 2011 that Palestinians have a moral right to their terrorism. A second person called Dr. Ibrahim Hamami, who is also very, very close to Hamas, supports the stabbings and killings of Israelis. Out of Corbyn's 3 individual donors, there are these 2. If Corbyn is so much against violence, why does he take donations from people who glorify terrorism against Israel? Corbyn in the past received donations as well from the Palestinian Return Center, to whom he said in a public event in Parliament that the Balfour Declaration was a historic mistake. If the board is indeed going to meet Mr. Corbyn, can we please make the point about the Hamas, who can't be a player in any negotiations as long as it doesn't meet the principles of the International Quartet, which is A, recognition of previous diplomatic agreements between the Palestinian Authority and Israel, recognition of the State of Israel, and renouncing of violence. Thank you.
Flora.
Flora Frank, British Emunah. I was part of that motley crew last week, and I want to say that we do decry the fact the few of us who were there, that there were just, I think, a handful of us. And if we were worried about security, there was CSD, our beloved CSD, there were police abounding, and we engaged with them. And I think even that was an exercise that they could see that they were religious Zionists or whatever Zionists. I call myself a religious Zionist, but whatever we are, that we care about the other side. I engaged with them. I said to them, I cry and shudder. And I do literally when I hear of an Arab child or any Arab person, whatever age they are, who has been killed. Lawrence, we do care. But I don't think they care about us, and that doesn't matter. I shouldn't have even said that. We do care, but I think, Lawrence, you should go and live in Israel. I'm on the phone with my family, and they are suffering all the time. They live all over Israel, and wherever they live, whether it's the West Bank, and I call it Yehuda v'Shomron, it's not the West Bank, whether they live in Tel Aviv or Ra'anana or in Haifa, I've got them all over the country. They are living in fear of their lives. They do not know when they're going to be attacked, and your daughter, I'm very, very emotional about this because I feel it's so unfair. It's very, very one-sided. And I wanted to say that the ZF spokesman, and we all did, made it very, very clear, Lawrence, if you had been there, and you should have been there, that life was paramount. We were not chanting death to any Arabs. We were begging for life for us and the right to live in freedom in our own country. Malvin Benjamin's daughter said it very beautifully. And I really think, Lawrence, you ought to go and live there, not just as some of us do for our holiday homes. Go and live there and go into the streets.
Flora on Amber.
Thank you. It's very, very important.
Anthony.
Anthony Feather, West London Synagogue. I must commend the board on the refreshing documentation that's coming out. It's all clear and logical and unambiguous. I can only assume that it's the influence of the new president, and all congratulations to him. On the question, one of the questions is about the two-state solution, which I think is fundamental to everything that's going on, because anti-Semitism, all the attacks, everything, is because we do not have peace. And the last line of your answer was that the two-state solution is the only way in which Israel will achieve peace with its neighbors. I can absolutely affirm my belief in that. And it may not be the official policy of the board, but I'm sure it's the majority of the Jewish community's view that a two-state solution is the correct. What else is there? What other solution are you going to suggest? And one assumes there's a rational logic behind the board's policy, that they have arguments to back up that policy. What are we doing to communicate the board's view on this policy to the government of Israel, to parties in the Knesset who also support the idea of a two-state solution? We ought to be doing more to actually get that view across. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all those views. I appreciate all